It is a physical cue, a locked door, a cancelled reservation, a guest who cannot charge dinner to a room, an employee improvising without the system that normally tells them what to do next. MGM later said, operations returned to normal, and that virtually all guest-facing systems had been restored. The company estimated a roughly $100 million negative impact on adjusted property earnings for its Las Vegas Strip resorts and regional operations. It also reported less than $10 million in one-time expenses during that quarter for technology consultants, legal fees, and other advisors. The data impact extended beyond inconvenience. MGM said attackers obtained personal information belonging to some customers, including names, contact information, gender, dates of birth, and driver's license numbers. For a limited number of people, social security numbers and passport numbers were also accessed. The company said it did not believe customer passwords, bank account numbers, or payment card information were obtained. The lesson is not that help desk employees are careless. The lesson is that a process can be perfectly efficient and still be dangerously easy to manipulate. If identity verification relies on information an attacker can research, it is not verification. If one employee can reset a privileged account without independent confirmation, helpfulness becomes a security vulnerability. If a new authentication device can be enrolled immediately after a suspicious reset, multi-factor authentication may protect the attacker instead of the company. Better defenses add friction exactly where an attacker needs speed. High-risk resets should require independent approval. Help desks should call employees back using a number already stored by the company, not one provided by the caller. Privileged accounts should use phishing-resistant authentication. New devices should trigger alerts and temporary restrictions. Administrators should be separated from ordinary user accounts. Remote access tools should be tightly controlled, and unusual identity changes should be visible to a security team immediately. The FBI and CISA also recommend offline backups, network segmentation, strong monitoring, controls on remote access software, and phishing-resistant multi-factor authentication. But the most important defense is cultural. Employees must be allowed to slow down. A support agent who refuses an urgent request is not obstructing the business. That person may be protecting the entire business. Verification should be treated as service, not suspicion. The caller does not need to defeat every control, only the one control that decides who is trusted. That is what makes social engineering so powerful. It attacks the gap between written policy and human behavior, between what a system requires on paper and what people do when someone sounds credible, informed, and desperate. The MGM incident became a public demonstration of that gap. Bright casino floors, luxury hotel towers, and enormous digital operations were disrupted by an intrusion whose alleged opening move required no cinematic hacking screen. Just a story believable enough to make someone help. The next time an urgent caller asks for a password reset, a new authentication device, a payment, or an exception to policy, the safest question is not whether the story sounds convincing. It is whether the identity was verified through a channel the caller could not control, because the most expensive part of a cyber attack may begin before any malicious code runs. It may begin when a helpful person answers the phone. Casinos, however, do keep records. The Nevada Gaming Control Board publishes reports describing gaming win across the state and major markets. In those reports, slot win percentage is calculated as the casino's reported win divided by the total dollars played by customers. Individual games fluctuate from month to month, but the industry is not built on anecdotes. It is measured across enormous pools of activity. This scale explains why a casino can survive spectacular payouts. Suppose one player wins $10 million. That event is enormous to the player and visually perfect for marketing. But a large casino processes an ocean of wagers across slots, tables, sports books, and high-limit rooms. The jackpot is a wave. The house edge is the tide. Casinos also manage risk. Betting limits prevent a single wager from threatening the business. Surveillance protects games from cheating. Statistical systems track unusual results. Loyalty programs estimate a player's theoretical value based on the games played, average bet, and time at the table. Complimentary rooms and meals can then be treated as acquisition costs, not random gifts. The free room may cost the casino far less than its advertised price. If it brings a player back to a game with a mathematical disadvantage, the room can pay for itself. The customer sees luxury. The casino sees expected value. This does not mean every casino wins every day. A streak of player luck can hurt quarterly results. A high roller can leave with millions. Operating costs, debt, competition, and regulation can damage the business. The phrase, "the house always wins," is not literally true in every moment. The more accurate statement is this: the house chooses games whose rules create a repeatable advantage, then builds an environment designed to generate enough repetition for that advantage to matter. The lights, carpets, architecture, and rewards are not separate from the mathematics. They deliver people to it. The jackpot is not separate either. It proves that winning is possible, and possibility is what keeps the next bet emotionally alive. For a visitor, the safest way to understand a casino is to treat every wager as the price of entertainment, never as an investment. Set the cost before entering. Do not borrow to continue. Do not chase a loss because a streak feels ready to reverse. Randomness does not owe anyone a recovery. One person can beat the casino tonight. Another can win life-changing money on a single spin. Those moments are real. But beneath every celebration is a quieter machine. Thousands of bets, small edges, repeated decisions, and time. The players are gambling on an outcome. The casino is operating a system. And systems do not need to be lucky. This is system beneath, the hidden machinery behind money, luck, and power.